In this video, we're going to check out 15 of the best games and experiences you can get right now on AppLab. Now this is part 2 of the series. Since I made part 1, quite a few games have come out on AppLab, so I thought it was about time to make part 2. Although if you do want to check out part 1, that will be linked in the description below, and that covers another 15 great games, as well as how to find AppLab and install games on your Quest device using AppLab if you're not sure how to do that. I also have 5 game keys to give away. So in part 1 of my AppLab series, I included the game Arcaxa. This is a VR RPG coming to the official Oculus store at some point. Now the developer has kindly given me 4 keys to give away, so just check the pinned comment in the comment section below for instructions on how to win one for yourself. I also have 1 game key to give away for the game Unstung. This is a tower defense game where you command a swarm of bees and have to open and defend flowers from enemy bugs. It's a lot of fun, and same deal here, check out the pinned comment in the comment section below to find out how you can be in with a chance of winning the code. Do remember to smash that like button if you like the video, and if you want to be kept up to date with all the latest content coming out of this channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. So with all that out of the way, let's jump into the list. And first on my list is a game that I have featured many times before, and that is Disc Bender's Ace Run. Now this is a disc golf game. Get the disc in the basket and as few throws as possible, that's the goal. But it's not just a disc golf game, it's probably the best disc golf game that you can get on the Quest. Now in this game there's over 3 different courses and 40 plus holes, including 5 unique discs, a free play mode and a career mode, as well as a multiplayer mode with up to 4 friends and in-game chat. Now the courses are very well thought out. Some are based on actual disc golf courses, which is pretty cool, and each one offers a different challenge. The physics are also very realistic, and the game is probably going to be the closest thing to actually playing the real thing. Now we're staying with our theme of casual gameplay experiences with our next game, Daedalus. Now I might have mispronounced that name, it does have a very unique name, just like the game itself, which is a very unique platform puzzle game that first arrived on the Oculus Go, and it was a big hit for Go users back then, and now it's available for the Quest. In this game, you need to seek out the 3 platformers in each level that unlock the exit gate. Now you have to figure out the best route to get from where you are to those platforms and then the exit, and you jump from one platform to the other using a boost feature and things in the environment like trampolines and wind columns. It's relaxing, it's challenging, and features some pretty nice visuals too. It also has glowing reviews and is well worth your time and money. Now our next game is another paid title. It's called Space Slurpies, and there is a free demo you can get from SideQuest if you want to try before you buy. So if you're looking for some addictive arcade fun, this might be for you. It's a bit like the classic mobile game Snake. You control a Space Slurpee, which is basically a snake, and you do this using your motion controller, and you have to gobble up the food that floats around you. Now as your Space Slurpee eats, it grows, and if you end up colliding with your ever expanding tail or colliding with another Space Slurpee, it's game over. It has over 20 maps and you can customize your snake, and it features cross-platform multiplayer. Now multiplayer is a lot of fun and leads to some pretty funny moments as you use your tail to try to cut off other players and trap them. The next up is Directive Nine. Now this is a juicy little title. It's a roguelite FPS set in a sci-fi universe. You choose your weapon loadout and then have to battle your way through a space station, and as you progress, enemies get more difficult, and you also get to expand your list of weapons, gadgets and perks in order to deal with them. Now any weapons you find in one playthrough are carried over to the next, which is a cool little feature. Now it's still very in early access, so all levels are not open just yet, but it's still a lot of fun, has great replayability, and it's well worth supporting. Our next game is another shooter, and one I have featured before. It's called Operation Serpens, and I am pretty fond of this game. I've seen it grow from a single level experience when it first came out on SideQuest June last year to what we see now. This is a game with a full single player campaign and a zombie horde mode to boot. If you think back to the movies from the 80s, those action movies, that's what it feels like when you play this. Lots of shooting from the hip, taking on heaps of enemies without needing to bother with silly little things like taking cover. There's a nice variety of weapons and the guns feel satisfying to shoot. It also has a 90Hz support for Quest 2 owners and supports the bHaptics tactile feedback vest, which is a nice feature. So our next game, Descent Alps, has a demo available on AppLab if you want to try it out, and if you do like it, the full game is also available on AppLab right now. So Descent Alps is a skiing game, obviously. It's quite a good looking game set at various altitudes, from forest covered hills to glacial fields and high peaks. The path along the course is randomized, so it makes each race different from the previous one. And as you ski courses, you earn points, and with those points you unlock ski gear to enhance your experience. It also has a killer soundtrack, but my favourite part of this game is the locomotion. You control the skis by shifting your body weight in the direction you want to turn. And there are other body movements too that affect the gameplay. For example, if I crouch at the same time I lean and turn, what that does is it carves the skis into the snow for a more aggressive turn. So the controls are really simple and intuitive, but super satisfying at the same time. So how are your bowling skills? If you're after a wacky bowling game that's perfect for playing with a group of friends or even enemies, then check out, and I'm going to have trouble saying this one, PePiBo Peregrino Pinata Bowling.
Nailed it!
If you think this looks a bit like Angry Birds, then you're not wrong. It's very similar. Choose a bowling ball and try to knock over all of the pins and smack the pinata at the end of the stage in order to receive your final score. Now each stage has different obstacles and challenges that keep it fun. A bit like mini golf, it has things like ramps and stone statues that you need to work around and work out the best way to get around them to knock down all of the pins. And to help you do this, you have different bowling balls with different abilities. For example, there's homing bowling balls or explosive ones. Now you might complete this one in under 2 hours, I would say, but it's still fun to go back and replay the stages to try to get 3 stars on each of them. And it is a good family party game, so if you're after a game like that, then this might be for you. So the next game we're going to look at is a unique tower defense type game. This is Unstung. You play as Queen Bee, no, not Beyonce, and you command a swarm of bees. Your goal is to grow flowers by getting your worker bees and commanding them to collect pollen to then take back to the flowers. When the flowers receive a certain amount of pollen, they open up. Now there are different colours of bee, and so to command a particular colour, you need to change your own colour to match them, otherwise those insolent bees won't follow you. You also have to contend with Lord Mothma's bug minions and try to take them out before they have a chance to eat your flowers. It's a great casual game, and I really like the visual style. And the developer is hard at work adding features to the game in response to feedback, which is very nice to see. And there is a free demo you can try right now on SideQuest. Next is Crazy Kung Fu, and in this game you fight against a wooden training dummy using your hands as well as your body to punch, block and dodge the various training arms that come towards you. With this one you're going to have to rely on your muscle memory, quick thinking and reflexes to get you through. These are going to be key, and there are a range of levels of increasing difficulty, and each level is unlocked by completing the last one. There's a bunch of options and modifiers, like this cool shrimp modifier where you have to catch shrimps in mid-air and eat them while training. It also includes 90Hz support and a global leaderboard. I find it to be a brilliant workout and really good to sharpen your reflexes, and best of all, it doesn't require a lot of space. It's all done within the one area. I found this one to be very addictive. I keep coming back to it time and time again, and I think you'll enjoy it too. And there is a free demo available on AppLab right now if you want to try it out for yourself. To the Top is a classic game that's been around on SideQuest for quite a while now, and so I'm glad we finally get to see it on AppLab. Now this game was intended originally for the official Quest store, but for whatever reason it wasn't accepted. Now if it was accepted, the developers said that they would have included a multiplayer feature, but as it stands it is only a single player experience, but it is still a great single player experience at that. The name of the game is to get from point A to point B using parkour. You can only cling to the blue coloured objects and have to launch yourself from one to the next. You can also skate along green surfaces and fly with jet hands. There are 35 levels, each one is cleverly designed with different pathways and obstacles, so part of the fun is figuring out how to get through the level as fast as possible. Your character is fully customizable and there's plenty of reason to go back to each level once completed, as there are time goals and collectibles. Now it's a bit of an intense game, but there are comfort options if you do get motion sickness. Shaq Pavlov is another game that just had to go on this list. Now if you haven't played Pavlov just yet, it is one of the most popular games on SideQuest and one of the most popular games now on AppLab, and with good reason. It's currently in beta and free at the time of this video. It's a multiplayer shooter that features 5 vs 5 competitive and social game modes. It has an awesome variety of weapons that you can test out on the shooting range, and the weapons themselves sound fantastic and are good to handle. They're also nicely balanced. I don't think there's one weapon that is all round better than all the others. Each have their uses in different situations. Now there's the game modes that you might expect, like Team Deathmatch, as well as others you might not, like the Zombie Horde mode. Hitstream is another game I've followed for a while. Now at the moment it's a free alpha demo, the full release isn't out just yet, but even as an alpha and a demo, it's awesome. It's a full 360 rhythm exercise game set in these nice outdoor panoramas. You need to hit, dodge or squat in time to some really awesome soundtracks. There are local and global leaderboards with points accrued by being more accurate, hitting targets as hard as you can and getting combinations. It's a really fun and intense workout. Take a look at some gameplay footage I took last year. Reflex Unit 2 is next on the list. Now this game started life as a mobile game and has been ported over quite nicely to the Quest. It's an isometric action shooter where you pilot a vehicle that's similar to a tank. The gameplay is pretty simple. Complete a bunch of objectives which usually involves destroying things, and along the way you pick up power-ups and customise your vehicle. There's a little strategy involved too if you want to survive. Things like taking the right path and getting behind cover, that kind of thing. There's a 1 to 2 player campaign, 9 stages with 3 difficulty settings, 2 to 4 player versus modes, a survival mode, and the multiplayer is cross-platform too, across the Switch, Go, Rift, iOS and Android, so there's plenty of features and modes to get stuck into. Now one SideQuest user put it best when they said playing this game is like playing Jungle Strike or Desert Strike on a 3D holographic table. Sports Mode is another game that just needs to go on this list. This is the successor to the massively popular side quest game Physics Playground. This game is like a big physics sandbox. If you like games like Boneworks, then you'll probably enjoy this. It has great visuals and not a lot of limits to what you can do, giving you endless ways of interacting with your environment. There's balloons, thrusters, weapons, enemies, sledgehammers, explosives, just a ton of things to play around with. So if you want to attach balloons to a cart, jump in and fly around the map, or if you want to push an enemy off a ledge onto a crate before finishing them off with a samurai sword in slow motion, then go for it. There are sandbox levels where you can just let your imagination run wild, but there are also arena levels where waves of enemies attack you and gradually get harder. There's also a puzzle mode which is going to be added very soon. For our next title, I've chosen the game Omega Blade. Now in this game, you're inside an arena and have to fight waves of long range and close range droids and robots. And you have a ton of guns and melee weapons that help you do that. Now one of the features I really love about this game is each time you select a challenge, the system picks a target rival score that you then have to beat. Now wave shooters can become a little boring, but I didn't find it with this particular one. Mostly because there's a ton of things to do. There's a ton of different great weapons to try, 50 achievements to get, as well as challenges and a full leaderboard that shows your position in each challenge so you can try and dominate it. So that's it for this video. What did you think of this list? Are there any games you would have added and why? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. If you have liked the video, do smash that like button, and like I say, if you want to be kept up to date with all the current content coming from this channel, hit the subscribe button and notification bell. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll catch you in the next video.